all those things, like, you got 110 agents you're responsible for, and, all their actions. And thankfully, 3 years of managing, we never ended up, having to go in any kind of litigation.
How long were you at Coldwell Banker?
7 years.
7 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you move to from there?
So from there, I went to Keller Williams. So, and my niece in Georgia had gotten licensed, and she said, she got licensed, and I was like, oh, you should, interview with Coldwell Banker. It's a great company. And she went and interviewed with them, and and she called me a week or so later, and she goes, hey, I just want to let you know I joined Keller Williams, and I was like, who? Like we barely knew who they were at the time, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, I was just surprised, honestly. And she said, have you ever read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent? And it was kind of new at the time, and I'd never even heard of it. And I was like, no, but the book sounds interesting. So I went and got it, again, just a sponge for knowledge. And so I was like, no, but that, the title sounds good. So I went and got it, and liked the content that it had. And so I was like, oh, it's a really, awesome book. And she goes, well, you should talk to them. And so I talked to them and made the move. I wasn't looking to move, but I felt like once I read that book, what they were teaching, this is back, in the early 2000s, I was like, it just seemed like the right next step in our business, in my business. At that point, my husband, Steve, had gotten his license and joined me in real estate because I had gotten so busy those first 5 years. It was never a plan that he was ever going to do that, but I had just gotten so busy. I was like, okay, I'm either going to hire somebody, to bring him in and do a team, or, we talked about it. And then he ultimately, left his career and joined me in real estate. And so collectively, we just made the decision, probably a year after he joined me, to make the move over to Keller Williams. And we were there 7 years. And in the interim, I had gotten my broker's license, and probably a year or two after being there, I actually became the manager and broker for probably for half of the 7 years I was there.
Okay. How big was the office where you were
at? We had about 110 agents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, we had a lot. It was a lot. And, I realized I was spending a lot of time managing, doing things that brokers do, trying to keep you out of court. 3 years of managing, we never ended up, having to go in any kind of litigation. But I spent a lot of my time really just dealing with issues. And then come, 2008 and 9, the market started shifting, and I was like, I can't do both. I need to focus on our business, because as a broker, like, you didn't get paid diddly squat, right? Like, you still had to be selling. And so, anyway, I just stepped out of that role.